Hello, this is Illotalk, and I am Cory Kerr. This is 100 Days of Animation, day 21. Those of you who have been watching know that 100 Days of Animation is my version of 100 Days of Making Comics, started by Kevin Cross. And what I do is I spend a minimum of 30 minutes every day working towards the completion of my short film. And it is a film about the rise of a dictator, kind of like Animal Farm, except with bugs instead of animals, farm animals. And so, anyway, I haven't quite come up with a name with it yet, but I will. Today, I did some interesting things. I finished rigging this character, and what you're actually looking at here is you are seeing me rig each limb here. I'm doing each arm with a plugin called Rubber Hose, which can be found at battleaxe.co. And man, that plugin is worth every single penny. But as you know, the last couple episodes, I have also been experimenting with expressions. Now, expressions are kind of loosely based in JavaScript, or not so loosely based in JavaScript. And I don't code, and I don't know anything about Adobe After Effects. So this has been an interesting experiment. I started with doing, under effects and presets, some behaviors, some animation presets. And they kind of got wonky and started screwing everything up. So what I'm doing here is I pre-comped all of the parts that make up each arm. And then I'm going into each arm and I'm doing a rubber pin situation, which is part of the plugin that uses the puppet pins. And then I'm doing the one in the middle there, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, another function of Rubber Hose that kind of articulates the arms without bending them. So one bends, the other doesn't. Then what it does is it creates controls. And I'm taking those controls and I'm adding an expression, a wiggle expression, to those controls. And I'm adjusting the frequency and the amplitude of that so that, as you saw in the beginning, they kind of move on their own. Combine that to the fact that they are parented to different parts and the whole thing kind of parented to each other. The feet don't move and everything else is in constant motion, including the antenna and kind of his mouthpieces as well. And what that does is it allows me to still animate and keyframe different things, like his arms and whatever else, and move them around, but he's also in constant movement without any keyframes. So that's the basics of what's going on. For some reason, probably because these are pre-comped and I move them around, there was a couple of issues that kind of broke, but luckily this time I was able to fix it. It was just some stray keyframes that kind of moved some things out of the way. So that's what you're seeing me adjust right here. In any case, once I get everything the way that I want it, I'm trying to figure out a way to have some controls and build some controls in. But I think I actually kind of shot myself in the foot by pre-comping all of these arms, because I know I would be able to control them otherwise. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to go, but I'm not too worried about it at this point because this character doesn't interact with the environment very much as far as what I'm doing with this particular story. So I'm kind of learning as I'm going here anyway. But that was the Rubber Hose that you're seeing me use here, and reverse that. And then after I do that, I've just got to reset where the anchor point is and get everything going again there and kind of line that up so you can kind of see me do this. This always reminds me of the Top Gun original Nintendo game, trying to line things up. Anyway, and then you'll see that after he starts moving, that everything kind of pivots on the chest, and that you will see that he kind of is just wiggly. And so that's kind of what I was going for, kind of this creepy, constant movement in the head and the mouth and the arms and the chest and the thorax and the abdomen and all that stuff. And so next up, I will be making him walk and things like that. Then I'm going to add one thing to each hand. I'm probably going to add like a coffee mug and a sword, German Luger, and I'm thinking of going with like a flail or something so that he can like a riding flail, so that he can like gesticulate at stuff and point at things. So that is that. That's kind of what's going on. So I'm almost going to wrap this guy up. Probably one more day on him. And then I'm going to go literally back to the drawing board because it is time to seriously map out some scenes. And so I will be doing that for a little while. And then I've got a number of other characters to create, though they'll be significantly more simple than the Wasp and Brother Beetle here. And basically what I'm going to end up doing is some butterflies and ladybugs and some other things. And then I'm going to kind of have his like army of SS, which are going to be made out of elephant beetles and big kind of thorny armored kind of actions. So anyway, I really wish that this was not as politically relevant as it is. I didn't intend for all of this to happen. So anyway, yeah, so there's that. We'll catch you guys later. I'm Cory Kerr. This is Illotalk, 100 Days of Animation, Day 21. You can see my stuff at corykerr.com, CORYKERR.com. You can also catch me on Twitter at Cory Kerr and on Instagram at Cory R. Kerr. And I'd love to hear some comments from you guys. I'm going to try to answer every comment that I get if that is feasible. Anyway, thanks for watching. We will catch you guys later.